When it comes to Disney and Pixar for their recent movies in the past decade, I have been pretty harsh, and rightfully so. When you go out of your way to make everything gay, it won't turn out well for you, especially when you are a kids' movie company. And although I've been hard on Pixar in the past, when it deserves praise, I will give it that praise. That comes in the form of Pete Docter. He made some comments about the state of Pixar, about where they want to head, and I thought it was a great first step. Is it genuine? I don't know yet, but we will see. So in this video, I'm going to look at his comments and then react to it, talk about it, and give my thoughts. But before I do that, this is what I do and this is what I talk about. I love talking about movies, and one of those genres, I guess, is when it comes to kids animated movies. So Disney, Pixar, the OGs, because I think there's something special about that, and that responsibility to entertain and teach kids through movies is a big responsibility, and it shouldn't be taken lightly. So that is why I get so passionate when I do talk about Disney and Pixar and how a ton of their movies in the last decade have just been crap. So yeah, that's one of the things I talk about on my channel. I also talk about fantasy genre stuff, so think Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, anything like that, superheroes, Hunger Games, all sorts of stuff. If any of that sounds interesting to you, please check out my channel and see if there's anything else that you like. Any support, whether it be a like, subscription, it all helps out immensely, so thank you. Now, if you don't know who Pete Docter is, he has a track record in Pixar, and he's worked on some movies such as Monsters, Inc., Up, Inside Out, so great classic movies. Unfortunately, these all came out over a decade ago, and this is as old as me. Just like a great human such as myself was emerged in 2001, a great movie, Monsters, Inc., came out in 2001 as well, and this guy worked on it, Pete Docter. So what is his official title right now? Now at Pixar, he is the CCO, Chief Creative Officer at Pixar Animation Studios. So that's who we're talking about, and he had something to say. Pete Docter says Pixar cut Elio LGBTQ themes because we're making a movie, not hundreds of millions of dollars of therapy. God damn. It's true. Right off the bat, it's true. Nothing he's saying here should be controversial, but of course, people are going to freak out about this, especially the alphabet people. But what is he talking about? What is he talking about? These LGBTQ XYZ 1, 2, 3 themes. What in Elio? Apparently, there was supposed to be a few gay scenes and blips in there. Telling us that this 10-year-old, 11-year-old boy is attracted to men. Now, rightfully so, a lot of people don't want to see that crap in the theater. When young families bring their young children to a theater, they're not expecting gay shit in their movies. They're just expecting to have a good time, shut their brains off for a little bit, and enjoy a good movie, a good story, and have a fun time with their young children, not having to talk about, why does Elio like guys? Why is he thinking about marrying a guy? It's like, you don't want to talk to your kids about that crap. Young kids, especially in the movie theater, shouldn't talk about that at all with them at that age. So, rightfully so, they took those themes out, and Elio was a flop in the box office, even despite that. Let's see what else they have to say. Pixar's Chief Creative Officer, Pete Docter, has explained why Disney-owned companies settled on cutting LGBTQ themes from their 2025 film, Elio. So he was talking to the Wall Street Journal, and he said, we're making a movie, not hundreds of millions of dollars of therapy. Because what Disney writers, animators, Pixar writer, animators, we've seen this. We've seen the leaked meetings that they talk about where their goal is to put as much gay crap in there as possible, or put their feelings, their thoughts projected into every single character that they create. That's why they freak out when you criticize a movie of theirs that's garbage, because they put their thoughts, their beliefs, that movie, the characters in that movie are themselves. So if you attack their movie, you're attacking them. That's why they get so upset. That's why they flip out. That's why they freak out, because that's all they know how to do. Because their whole personality is just what gender they like rubbing their organs up against. It's like, stop. How's that your only personality? There's tons of stories like where, sure, the character might be gay, but that's not their whole personality. That's not the case when stuff like this gets in, because a lot of these writers, a lot of these animators don't have skill. They just have the right ideas, ideals, the right agenda that they're pushing. And it's like, it's crap. And yeah, it's not your therapy session to spill out all your thoughts on your childhood trauma, and that's why you're gay today. Or like, I don't even know. The Hollywood Reporter previously reported on the lengthy reworking of Elio. Yep. That's when they took out a bunch of gay crap. Melonia later Elio's sexuality being queer. That's so stupid, man. I don't know. Let's keep going. Elio opened to record low numbers for Pixar, debuting at 20.8 million domestically and 14 million overseas. That the problem is people working at Disney, people working at Pixar do not give a fuck. They hate capitalism. So they could give a rat's ass if the big Disney corporation, the big Pixar corporation loses their money. All they care about is normalizing this crap, this LGBT crap, shoving it down the throats of kids, figuratively, and it wouldn't surprise me literally as well. These freaks, man. So they don't care. They don't give a flying fuck about making a good movie, about something that will be beneficial for the children of the world, for the children of America, for the children of the world, to be a good human being. Obviously, it's not everyone. Obviously, this is a more like, okay, let's have hope for humanity, have hope for Earth type of thing. But the bottom line is that the people working for this have an agenda that they're trying to push in here, trying to normalize and deviate from what has been true for all of human history. You can't make a baby if you're gay. That is anti-human. It's anti-human. It's not sustainable. If everyone turns gay, then everyone fucking dies. Like, what are we talking about? Now I'm going off on another rant. We're still talking about Pete Docter. So Elio opened, record low numbers. Yeah, we already saw that. That's terrible. 29.6 million. When how much did it cost? So it costed 150 million. Oh, between 150 million and 300 million. The total, with additional marketing expenses potentially bringing the total over 400 million. And then they bring in 28 million. 29 million. That is absolutely terrible. As time's gone on, I realize my job is to make sure the films appeal to everybody. Doctor says elsewhere in his. So why does Hollywood Reporter put this to the very end? This is the smartest thing you can ever say, and it's not even smart. It's not even a high IQ thing to say. It's not a crazy thing to say. If you're a movie company, you should want your movie to appeal to as many people as possible. That's self-explanatory. How can we make this movie blow up? How can we make this movie great and make people talk about this movie, have it rake in some money? You know how? By putting butts in the seats. And you don't do that by chopping off half of the potential customers, and probably even more so, because there's people on the left who are still sane, I think, at least some, hopefully, I don't know, and don't want their kids to be exposed to gay stuff, especially not when they're 10 or under, who are the people watching this. It's crap, man. It's crap. This, like, more people need to just do this, because they've tried appeasing to the very far of the left, the crazy people who call for all this shit to be put into these movies. And you can never appease them. You can never make them happy. They always want more. It's not enough. Just appeal to as many people as possible. My job is to make sure the films appeal to everyone. Exactly. That was Hollywood Reporter. This is Geeks and Gamers. Do they have anything else to say? Pete Docter, the chief creative officer. Make sure the film. See, these guys put it right at the top. There we go. Thank you. Exactly. That should be self-explanatory. But we have a bunch of dumbasses working in Pixar, working in Disney. They're just so in their little bubble of Hollywood and gayness and wokeness. It's like, come on, it's crap. Speaking to the Wall Street Journal, Pixar CEO Pete David is looking for their new films to re-embrace universally relatable concepts like talking toys and monsters in the closet. Yeah, not kids in the closet, bro. As time's gone on, I realized my job is to make sure films appeal to everybody. What a concept. Comicbookmovie.com believes this indicates Doctor's desire to return the concepts and stories that made Pixar such a massive success in the first place, exactly, rather than to pull back on diversifying going forward. And there's evidence for this in the Wall Street Journal. Yep. However, this overlooks another part of the article as related to the world of real. What's this? Last year, Elio was reconstructed during development. So he's 11, and he's queer-coded. The Wall Street Journal article cites sources who clarify that it went beyond coding, with Elio presented as a homosexual who fantasized about having a child with his male crush. God, man. You can't have a child with your male crush because you're a dude. Rapunzel, she's great. While it's unlikely we'll see a live-action Toy Story or The Incredibles anytime soon, the impetus, what is that word? I don't even know what that means. To look to the past is clearly there at Pixar. Is it though? Or is he just saying that just to say it? I never know anymore. Plus, that's one guy. And there's so many other leeches in there that are just there. Still try, or will still fight and claw and teeth and nail and make sure that they can put as much gay crap in there as they can, doing their part for the community. So stupid. The perceived decision to refrain from wading into controversial territory is at least somewhat adjacent to this, with the uniting idea being to make people comfortable, or at least not to alienate them before they buy a ticket. Exactly. So that was kind of the news on what Pete Docter had to say. If they do something about it, if they stick true to these words that he said, and if it's not bullshit, then possibly Pixar will take a step in the right direction. They've just been losing money. They've been shredding it. Them and Disney, and it's like they used to be something special. Both of them. They still can. If they have the right people in there. They need to clean out so many of those people that are just there, that don't deserve to be there, that don't deserve to tell the stories for the future of our fucking generation. These freaks who all they care about is their sexuality. What a fucking boring human if that's the only thing you have to offer to the world is who you want to fuck. Are you kidding me? That's terrible. I don't want those kids in charge of the children of the next generation. Nobody does, except for a very small portion of like less than 1% of the people around the world. They're fucking insane. Every time I talk about Pixar, I get my blood pressure rises incredibly. It's not healthy for me. So I will stop that here. What do you guys have to say about this? Let me know down in the comments. Do you think Pixar can get out of this hole? That they can make great, amazing stuff once again that everyone goes to, that everyone talks about for the right reasons. Not too long ago, they had it. 10 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, they had it. It's just been the past like 4 or 5 or 6 years that they've been losing money after losing money after losing money. Flop after flop after flop after flop. Do you think they can come back? Let me know. That's all I had to say about this. If you got this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. And if you liked this video, please leave a like. It really does help a lot. And check out my channel. See if there's anything else that you like. But that's about it for me. Thank you for taking time to watch this. I'll let you go. But yeah, that's it. And I'll see you in the next video. All right, bye.